Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new week's worth of the McJeffries network on OpenTTD. I am of course McJeffries, and here we are at Fort Hampton, just watching the new metro style train terminate. This has been a massive success, this line. Look how much money it's earning me. In 9 years it's earned me 2.6 million. To put that in context, this train here been going for 17 years and has earned, so yeah, it's about half of what this is earning. So in terms of our main network, it's about level with where it should be, which is fantastic news. Really good news. So we're going to do what every good transport network does when it's successful. We're going to expand, and you already know where we're going to expand because I've already revealed it in Friday's episode. We're heading to Dartbourne. I'm going to build a brand new set of platforms at Dartbourne to accommodate this. First things first, Watbourne. Here, we're going to build a new station at Watbourne. Now at this point we are running through the city, so we've got these types of stations on the north side. We're going to have a different type of station on the south side, and in the city itself we're going to go for well, depending on what station we're linking up with. So here, for example, the first thing I want to do is designal. Actually, no. I nearly designaled all of this, but I think what we actually want to do is just do this. Yeah. All of this will make sense in a second as to what the hay is going on here. We're going to change that to there, like so. In fact, what we're going to do, because this really won't work otherwise, is we're going to pop you there. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so we need to do that's going to go there. That's going to go there and there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is going to go there. And then here we're going to have a little crossover. This isn't actually going as easy as I thought it would. I have to take this back and try again. Yeah, let's take this back and try again. Okay. Let's pause the game a second, so that I don't completely mess this up. We're going to delete all of this track here. As I say, we're going to start again with building all this. This is going to come straight through and it's going to connect up there. Here though, we're going to have that go down, we're going to have that go down. In fact, what we really should do is have all of this go down. Like so. And we're going to level all of this like that. We're going to get rid of this piece of road as well. Like so. So that's going to go there. On this side, this depot's not in use, so we're going to demolish it. Like that. And we're going to pop a new track coming out here. Like this. Actually, no, that's the wrong spot. Actually, no, yeah, we'll work with that. And then that's going to go like that. And then here, we're going to have twin tunnels set a little distance apart. Plus, that. Whatever you want to call it. The little link up thing. Right, we're going to lower the land like this. Make sure that we've got enough room here. 1. Yep, we need to lower down some more land. So you're going to come across like this. Like that. Perfect. You're going to go there. That's going to connect up like that. That's going to connect up like that. And then this line here is going to be redone. Almost entirely. If I do that, yeah, that's pretty good. Like so. And then I'll put that back in where it should be. And what's the distance here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's about right there. Like that, and do that one as well. Perfect. Perfect. Right, back to electrified. We're going to have a new triple tunnel coming under here. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to have another station site here. So let's head back to this bit, make sure all this bit's done. So that, and that. If I just do that as a... Yep, and then we'll do that there, that there. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. We'll pop signals here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Sorry. It appears I'm forgetting how to count. Never a good thing. Right, that's going to connect there. That one's going to connect there. And then there'll be another crossover there. And that just ensures that all the right vehicles are going in all the right places. Okay, cool. Now we come up here. We want... I'm tempted just to put Dutch platforms in. 3 tracks, length of 1. And you'll be Watborn, like that. We'll go for, I believe it's called the Spanish method. I could be wrong. I might need to check that actually, as to what the name is. But it's where there's platforms either side of the train. You get out on one side and you get in on the other. It's called something. It's something to do with Spain. The name of it is something to do with Spain. I'll have to double check that though, because I don't want to get it wrong. But it's a cool idea. I'm gonna pop that there. Might as well pop that there. There we go. And there you go. That's our new Watborn station. So we've got this double track tunnel, though technically it's more than that. If that makes any sense. I believe that works, although I'm not 100% sure that works. So it's probably best if I don't use it like that. But I do want to pop a signal there. As you might have guessed, this is being expanded quite a lot. I'm also going to upgrade this little section here to be dual powered, so that we can have trains coming out here as well to serve the eastern section. I'm forgetting my words. I'm terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put another depot here, also to serve this little bit as well, like that. People have been asking me about Zest Husky's junctions. Could I replicate them? And I really, really want to. And I get really frustrated because I find it very difficult to. And I think I mentioned this in Friday's video, actually. If you're watching Zest, first of all, do you want to do a co-op? That's something else that people have been asking. The next thing I want to say is, can you please teach me how to build junctions like you do? Because they're so cool, and I've tried so hard, and I just can't do it. Every time I've tried, I just can't do it. It's very frustrating. Right, I just wanted to lengthen this platform a little bit more. Make it a bit more of a terminus station. Right, my TV wants to turn off now as well. Fantastic. There we go. Okay. So I'm just putting some extra crossovers here. Normally I wouldn't do this, but for this sake it's so that trains can get from any platform across, because I haven't put waypoints here. And, I mean, actually I suppose I could put waypoints here and not be lazy. What that might mean I have to do is change that, get rid of this, and then put waypoints in that gap, which means taking this back down to 4. It looks wrong when they're 4. I don't know. Something about that just doesn't look right. I like the idea of it being 5. Like so. Maybe also if I put a shelter in. Or something. I don't seem to have station signs. We've got that one. That's not the one I want. Old roofs. Number of tracks 1. No, 3. Platform length 1. How does that look? That looks alright. That's better, I suppose. Like so, and then you'll come across like this. You'll come across like this. And then there'll be another one there. And you'll just join up like so. Something like that. It's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. And as I say, we'll put waypoints in a little bit later. Right now, though, we're going to come over here, and we're going to do... first thing we do is go pop that there, and we're going to pop that there. Then we're going to do the same thing over here, so we're going to have a crossover coming in like that, and a crossover coming in like that. Signal, waypoint, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, waypoint, signal. Quite a big station site, this one. But there you go. And again, we'll go for the older 3-track. So here, let's see, we'll go with the underpasses at this end. And then we'll have some schedules, we'll have some like that, and that. 1, 2, 3, oh, I've put that in the wrong spot. That's why it looked a bit weird. In that case, let's put the schedules at this end, and we'll put the underpasses there. There we are. 1, 2, 3. And then all we have to do is extend that out like that. You go to there. You go to there. We'll pop one like that and connect those up. That's a bit more like Zest Husky. Oh, hello, I have a tweet. That might be Reedy Read. It is. I'll have to get back to you on that one, Reedy. Obviously, by the time you're watching this, you'd have received the message anyway, but at least now you'd know why I'm not responding exactly straight away. I feel really guilty doing that, but I really shouldn't, should I? Because I'm not ignoring. I have acknowledged the fact that I have received a message, and the reason I'm not replying to it straight away is a valid one. So I don't know why I feel so bad about it all the time. I want this to be modern style bridges. Let's go for the viaduct concrete. Let's say this is like metro of the future that I'm building right now. So I want it to be much better than the existing metro that we've got. This I nearly swore then. No, I'm not going to swear. This thing that we've got here, I want it to be better than that. But I do have to do some destruction here. Baptiste, if you're watching, I apologise. I know it's not necessarily in the best interests of the city, but it's in the best interests of me. So I'm going to do that. Right, and we'll have a new set of tunnels that pass under here, and will emerge again. Let's see. I think here is probably the good spot. Like so. And then there'll be 2 platforms here, like that and like that. Now this bit's going to be tricky, although maybe not that tricky. I'm going to have to do some landscaping in the middle of this lake here. So right now, I want to turn it from going under the ground level to above the ground level. I want to pop this on a raised section, so I'm going to do that. And then you should be able to go straight up like that, straight up like that. Perfect. Let's say there'll be a station here. We'll get to that in a second. And then across here, I want to put this. And then here, I want this to link up. I will change this in a second. And then I want that to go across kind of like that, I suppose. I'm going to have to do some demolition. Oh, and I've put that in completely the wrong spot. That's why we do things slowly in this series. Bridge head's not at the same level. That shouldn't matter. If I do this right, it shouldn't matter that they're not at the same level. There we go. So I can't do it like that, but I can do it an extra one over. And again, we'll go for the modern looking viaducts, because I think they look pretty cool. And then here we want to go along like this, to there and to there. And then here we want to come across like this, and then we're going to grab this and we're going to go zoom right across there. Get rid of everything else that we don't need. Okay, so it's not the tidiest way of doing it, but it is a way of doing it. And then here, if I do a little bit more destruction, so I can pop another station in a cutting here. I need to level this off, like so. I did do the rebuilding over here, didn't I? Yeah, so I think I can just start that up again. But I'll wait. Now, at the moment, we only have one of these lines. But I like this idea. I want to keep this idea. So, those of you who are knowledgeable of French transport, you'll be aware of something called the RER. And I really wish I could remember off the top of my head what RER stands for. It's Regional something, Regional Express Railway, I think it stands for. But what it basically is there is it's again, I'm trying to think of a good way of describing it. It is a line that goes through Paris and its surrounding areas. And it's like a rapid way of getting into the city. It's probably the best way I can describe it. So basically, I know I'm doing huge amounts of destruction here again. I will rebuild. That's why I'm doing this bit first, and I can just build the track through the gap that we've got left. This is going to become an interchange station as well. Right, so the RER. Let's actually tell you what the RER is, so I'm not distracting myself. The RER is it's a line. It's a bit like Crossrail. I think Crossrail is a good way of explaining it, actually. So it starts outside of Paris. There are 5 lines, I believe, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Starts outside Paris, comes into Paris, and then runs underground through the centre of Paris, just connecting up key areas. And there's a huge interchange in the centre of Paris where it also links up with the metro network. I think just outside Gare du Nord is the biggest station where it all connects up and all works quite nicely, and then it runs out the other side of the city again. That's kind of what I'm going for with this idea. So it's going to fit that kind of requirement. It wasn't something that we necessarily needed either. It was just something that I thought, why not try and build it and see how it comes out? And to be honest, if everything goes to plan, it should come out quite nicely. I'm looking at ways to route the line with minimal damage. So as you can see at the moment, I'm just going to build a series of bridges over the line here. And then it will slope down here, it will come down the hill here, and then once it's at this ground level, it will run basically along the ground through here. Let's have a crack at that, shall we? So here we're going to go straight across, and then actually I don't need to do these bits, do I? It can just be one long bridge, like so. And again, I like the idea of this modern viaduct, so we're going to pop that in. It looks nice. I say this is modern. What we're building now is modern. Some of the stuff we've built in the past is quite old-fashioned. All of this is cutting-edge technology. We've even gone for the double-decker trains, which is something that the RER also has. So again, we are following the French example quite nicely, if I do say so. I'm waiting for someone to tell me that I've done it completely wrong and it's absolutely nothing like it should be. But I don't think that's going to happen, in all honesty. I think I've done a good job with this. I did my homework, which is something that I can't say I did much at school. But now that I'm doing this, I'm doing my homework. And I'm trying my best to make it as good as possible. I love doing research for this series. It's so much fun. I almost use this series as an excuse to just do research into different types of transport around the world. I'm constantly on different websites reading up about different things. And if there's anyone out there who's interested in transport, whatever it might be, you know, Wikipedia has a bad rep at times, but it's a very, very good place to start. You can learn a lot from it, because people who actually either assisted in building these networks or work on these networks or just live near these networks or whatever, they contribute to it. And it's very, very accurate. It's more accurate than some other areas that you might go to for knowledge. I can tell you that much. So you'd be surprised just how how good Wikipedia is. It's always my first port of call. Whenever I'm doing research, I always find Wikipedia is the best place to go to first. And then if that doesn't give me the answer I'm looking for, I'll start looking elsewhere. As I say, it's a good place to start. I'm just redoing this slightly so I can fit a station in here. I think once we're in the city, 5 tile long stations are going to be the norm. Even though the tile length is 4 for each train, 5 is the number that I'm going to use. Because I'm technically using 6 outside the city, but even though the stopping area for the train is actually only 4. It's just about making sure that we've got enough room for our trains to actually get in and out of the station all the time. That's the key now. Right, so here I've got a little bit of task on my hands. Trying to get this line up and out of the city. It's possible though, as you can see. It is very possible. These trains are going to have to be able to combat quite steep slopes to get out of this side of Guard City. Guard City East is very hilly, as you might have noticed already. Very hilly. So it's a trek, but it's very doable. And my trains are very good at it. Right, so that goes like that. There we are. And then you go down there like that. You go down there like that. And those two connect up. And you go there and you go there. Right. Hadborough Bay. We're going to have to change that because it is not a bay. It's not even called Hadborough. It's called Hayborough. There we are. Right, the one place I'm not going to stop is Grafingfield, which is over here. I'm probably going to avoid Grafingfield. Yeah, I'm going to avoid Grafingfield just so I come into the right side of Dartbourne. Once again, steep slope down this side. If I wanted to, I could just tunnel underneath. You know, if I set up a tunnel from Guard Hill, where would it come out? Over here somewhere. But I think sometimes you've got to do this steep slope stuff. There are a lot of steep slopes around the world. It's realistic, you know. Nowadays, the DLR especially, there are so many steep slopes on DLR, it's unbelievable. I love going on the DLR because if you look out the window of the DLR, which is very possible to do by the way, because of the way it's you know, there's no driver necessarily, so you sit at the front, you can see out the front window. If you sit at the back, you can see out the back window. You can see where the track used to go. The DLR has changed so much since it was built. Stations are constantly being rebuilt. Poplar is a fantastic example. They've now got something at Poplar called the Delta Junction, which is where over time, as new lines have been built, it went from a flat junction to a completely grade separated junction. And I'm trying to remember the station, I think it's West Ferry, has actually lost a platform because of the rebuilding, and it's lost a service as well. Because of the way the junction's built, in one particular direction, the train doesn't stop at this station. I think it is West Ferry, but I will check that. Whoops, that is not where I wanted that bit to go. But you can see all the old viaducts. The DLR is like playing with Lego almost. Every now and then they just decide, oh, we want to change this, and they'll just rebuild an entire station or an entire piece of track. And because it's automated, it's light rail, you can just build an incredibly steep slope to get up and out of a station, or to get down into a tunnel, or anything like that. And it's kind of what I want to do, not necessarily with this line, but other lines in Guard City. I want to sort of recreate that as it is. So I think it's a pretty cool design. It's a very cool design actually. Saying it's pretty cool is most definitely an understatement. It's a very cool design. I'm just going to cut this back by 1, like so, and here we're going to go straight line right way across this bit of countryside. I could bridge across here, but I'm not going to. I am, however, going to bridge across the water because that's fairly obvious. Once again, bridge design. I think we're going to go for the modern viaduct. Looks very cool. High speed is all going to be on those modern viaducts and the silicon bridges. Mostly silicon, I think, because that looks very futuristic, which is what our high speed line is going to be. Come up here through what are you called? Houston? No, it's not Houston. We don't control the launch of spacecraft from there, so it's not going to be called Houston. Let's not do that actually. Let's, again, just the destruction, the wanton destruction. It's just chaos. Gives the town room to grow though if I get rid of this hill. And then we'll pop the line through there like that. And there's a bit of a slope here which we're going to have to combat. Like this. But then that should just be able to, yeah, like that. And then we'll lift you up as well. Tracks separate a little bit here, but I'm okay with that. You there, you there. Perfect. And then we're coming down into Dartbourne, so we might as well start prepping the area here for where the track's actually going to arrive. So I'm going to build 2 new platforms, as you already know, because I said so in last episode. I'm also going to rebuild this tram bridge, because I don't think it's very useful now. So what I'm going to do is wait for these trains to come across. All this road here I'm going to get rid of, and all this section here I'm going to get rid of. You can see where the 2 tracks are going to enter the town. Going to get rid of that. Wait for these trams to leave the bridge. They should leave at roughly the same time. There's one, there's 2. Dartbourne is one we're going to have to revisit as well and do a lot of. I mean, this is pretty much the first time I've been back to Dartbourne since I added this tram line. So it tells you how long it's been. I don't like that. Don't particularly like that either. Let me pause this for a second. Cantilever? Yeah, it's going to have to be cantilever. I'm not a fan of any of these types of bridges, if I'm perfectly honest. I think they're all a bit ugly. But it gives me an opportunity to rebuild Dartbourne tram station, like so. And now I can unpause the game again. So we're going to prep the site here. Make sure that we've got plenty of room. So if I put the buffer stops there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Waypoint signal, something like that. And then you're going to come out like this. And I think I was originally going to bridge over this main line, but I might actually, it might be easier just to tunnel underneath it. And then the town, or the city, Dartbourne's a city really, isn't it? It's not a town at all. If I do this, so that's a 99 length. No, it looks like I might actually have to bridge over it. Not ideal, but it's also not terrible. Just means I'm going to have to do some wee bit of landscaping. Yep, I've got buildings in the way now, which is also not beneficial. Although actually, if I can get the track up onto this level, as I say, we're going to have strong trains for this track. Because we're going to have big slopes like that we're going to have to combat. Okay, I'm not too happy with the way that line goes underneath the pillar, but to be honest, I think the majority of it's going to be hidden anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'm just redoing this bit here so that it only has to climb up on one side. Like that. I think that looks nicer. And then we have a nice little connection over here with Senwell. So here I can tunnel underneath this hill. Mainly because it's only that long. I thought it would be a little bit longer than that. There's no point if it's only going to be that long. Let's do this. So we're going to come out here, we're going to come out here. Let me just go back to OBS a second. Check that it's actually recording. I don't like being stuck on Audacity because I used to do that a lot, and then I'd come back and find that OBS had stopped working and it hadn't captured the video. My preferred scenario is it captures the video but not the audio, because I can just do a post recording voiceover, whereas if it doesn't capture the video, I can't redo the video, you know, because it's already been built. I can delete it all and start again, but I mean, that's just, it's a waste of time, really. To be perfectly blunt, it's a total waste of time. There's no point in me doing that. Right, buffer stops. Again, we are going to use, I'm going to put an island platform here, but we're going to use the Dutch platforms because this is a Dutch platform station already, so it's just keeping with what's already here. we're going to do that, and then we're going to do island platform. I might put an island station in actually. 60s style? No, this is modern. We need nice and modern. Hilversum. So we've got that, or we've got that. Don't really like either of them, to be honest. Do we have a... I don't think we do have a... where are my words today? I don't think we have an underpass. I'm just going to chuck one in like that. I'm just going to put a CTA here, benches here, schedule here, and then just a planter at the end. And then 2 lots of signals. Whoops, like so. And then a crossover. One like that. One like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to signal you. And what was the gap that I have? Apologies for the fast scroll. Just want to make sure that I've got these at the right distance. So these are all... Just find a straight piece of track as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So these are all 6 apart. Where am I going? Dartbourne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You there, and then up and over, and this will come all the way along back to the station where it should be, which I've forgotten the name of right now. Okay, now here I'm going to use the... I'm not going to use the British style. I'm going to use the... Probably going to use the rural style actually. Oh no, I'm going to use the suburban style because I don't think I've used the suburban style. I've used the rural style but not the suburban. So let's see. Pop you there, Senwell. Does this have... no, it doesn't. 2, 3, 4. These stations are going to be relatively simple. Like that. And then we've got another one here at Huston. Oh, we've got a bit of a... Yeah. It's going to be tricky. Well, again, it's not going to be tricky, it's just going to be a pain. 1, 2... So it's that one and that one that are going to be... Let's put the benches fenced in first, and we're going to go 1, 2... like that, and then this one 1 on 1, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, good. And then we carry on heading down the hill, over the bridge, back up the hill, and we come to Woodward. Gonna have to have a small station here at Woodward. That's fine. Pop you back to 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Oh, no. We can't. Okay. Might not be able to have a station at Woodward then, unless I rebuild some of this track. So if I do that, let's raise this up. Might as well go for the full length now, since I'm having to rebuild track for it anyway. That should do it. And then you come across there, you come across there. Like that and like that. Perfect. Woodward Central. Good name. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice. Much better. Alright, and then the next one is here, over at Londinghatton. Londinghatton? Yeah, Londinghatton. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then up here, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here I'm just going to have a small one at Harbour. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll put an overpass at the exit of the tunnel. 4. Like that. Nice and simple. Down here to Guard Hill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's frustrating. Gonna have to do this. Because Guard Hill I want to become a bit of an interchange, as you might have already guessed. I mean, it links up with the trams, which is fantastic, but not so much here, but the next station, Tindhead, is going to link up with the metro as well. So at this point I'm going to switch from Suburban Station to City Stations. Try and match with some of what we've got elsewhere on the network. So we're going to have just bog standard platforms, and then we're going to have shelters, underpass. So what's that? It's 3, 4. Just do overpass. So that's 4, and then we'll just go for benches and then bog standard platform again. 6. Right, and then here I should be able to fit a nice 6 platform in again. Whoops. Got to make sure it connects to the other tinned head. So, tinned head, there we go. 1, 2. Actually, we'll do 2, and then we'll do 3. Underpass for 4, and that's how they're going to get down to the other metro platforms. And then we'll just do 5 like that, and then back up here for 6. Something like that. Something like that should work. And then down here we're just going to go for a little bog standard station. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again that and that. So that's now 6. Okay. Padinghead. What do I want to call this line? I'll come back to this for now. I'm just going to put lower. We'll come back to this. Some of these I want to rename for like metro or tram or things like that. Just as a designation type thing. Makes my life easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, cool. 2, 3. 4, 5, and 6. Again, we're going to rename this, so it's not going to be Rundinghattan. It's going to be... Where is Rundinghattan? Rundinghattan's all the way over there. This is down here. So I'm going to call this St. George... Whoops. Park. We'll just chuck some trees around it. Right, then we've got GSG itself. Which again, we're trying to make this quite a built-up station. It's going to be quite an impressive, because it links up with... let's put the overpass there. So that kind of connects up with that road as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's kind of good actually, I like that. I'm not against that. Then over here, obviously, we're going to have a little station here. Fishing Harbour? I might leave that actually, that's a pretty cool name. 3, 4, and then up here for 5. That is a pretty cool name. And then Fort Binville and beyond. Now, I need to put the that signal in, path signal. Now we already have the existing trains that go through here. We're going to grab one of these, so we're going to grab the first one. Whoops, I always close that window too early. Grab you. We're going to pin you. Come on. Right. Pause the game a second. And we need to put waypoints here now. So what are you? You're number 3. Okie dokie. So you're Watbourne through Metro. You're Watbourne Terminus Metro. I might just call this Regional Express, this system. I might just literally use the RER. So I'm just going to put TER. Okay. I'm going to pin this open as well for now, just so I can get this right. And then here we're also going to go you there, you there, and you're going to be Fort Binville TER, like that. Alright, and the way this is going to work is as follows. We don't need a crossover there, do we? No, we don't. Absolutely not. Right, so the train's going to come out of its shed maintenance place, and you're going to go to Watbourne, and then from Watbourne you're going to go to here, yep, and then you're going to go do your route as normal, and then you're going to come back to Guard City, St. Peter, St. Michael via Darnbury through, yep, and instead of no loading, you are going to get rid of that. And then here you're going to go to Watbourne twice. This one you're going to go via the terminus platform. This one doesn't matter. And then here you're going to go right the way through to Fort Binville twice. And you're going to carry on right the way through the city. I'm going to change this to regional. Okay, Tinned Head. And then Guard Hill. Up the hill again to Hayborough. Smallest station on the line. Probably going to be the least used as well. Londinghatton. Actually, you're not going to stop at Hayborough. We'll have a different service that will stop at Hayborough. More on that in a future episode. And then down here to Woodward Central. Again, good name. I like station names with Central in the title. Sounds very efficient, very important. And then you come down to Darbourne, where you go far end. I'm just going to check this is all good. So you start at Watbourne, Guard City, St. Peter / St. Michael, route as normal. You come back here, you go through Darnbury through to Guard City, St. Peter / St. Michael, and then you go back to Watbourne, Fort Binville, yeah, Little Scintill City Fishing Harbour. All of these, all good. And you come Little Scintill Fishing Harbour, Fort Binville, go via Watbourne TER, Watbourne, yep. U, no loading. There. And then you service, and then you go to the metro depot, no loading and no unloading. Good. I'm going to redo this. First of all, going to keep all the speed limits at 60. Second of all, I'm going to reduce this to 250 for all of them. Travel not timetabled. Yeah, all these need to be changed to 60. Okay, and then you are 25, you are 1250, like so. Autofill, perfect. And then unpause the game. I'm just going to head back into the city for a second, just to check 100%. Completely lose track of where these lines go at times. Just to check 100% that this is all set up correctly. So this is a through. Sorry, that's a through. I'll set that up later. That's a through. I'll set that up later. I'll use a single waypoint for both of them. That's the terminus. So the idea is it'll come from here. Did I signal this section? I don't think I did. Don't think I did, so I'm going to do that. And then we'll pop you there as well. Now at this point, I only want the signals to be 1, 2, kind of, let's put it there. And this one will go there. I think that's about halfway. Obviously don't put signals on the main bit here because it's bidirectional. But the train will come down this line here. It shouldn't go through the depot at all. It'll avoid the depot, come out under this tunnel, and then it will go into the middle track here, which this one is already doing. Although this one is terminating. This one's starting its journey, sorry, not terminating. That's fine. And it will then reverse back into its depot, which is this one, and then it will pull forward again into here, and then it will start the journey all over again. Good. That should work out perfectly. I'm going to watch this do its journey, make sure everything is all set up correctly. I'm going to chuck a load of new trains at this line as well in the future. Oh, I need to reset the name for this line as well. So this is no longer going to be part of Guard City Metro. This is going to be part of Guard City Regional. So this line is going to be changed from M6 to R1. And you are Dartbourne to Fort Hampton. And R1 is going to be part of the Guard City Regional Network instead. There we go. I'll add more trains to this in the future. There will be more R lines as well, as I'm sure you could tell by the fact that I've just called that one R1. And that's it for today's episode, pretty much. Off camera maybe, or I might do it on camera in a later episode. I want to do some tweaks to the metro junctions just to make them a little bit more efficient, because I've seen some problems developing with those. I'm just going to add some flyovers and dive unders, etc. That should all be fine though. And tomorrow, of course, we're going to be starting the new Western main lines, so I'm looking forward to doing them as well. In the meantime though, guys, it is the end of the episode, so thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series. Drop some comments down below for ideas for future episodes. I'm going to watch this train on the whole of its journey, so at the start of next episode I'll be able to tell you exactly how well it's working. And so until then, I will see you soon.